community. And
Right.
so I appreciate you coming in with this information. I'm anxious to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, we're ready?
Yep.
All right, well, thank you for your time, commissioners. Glad to be here. Yeah, so I'm Scott Russell, the board manager at Twin Valley, representing family and companies. And we do believe that a good opportunity here to what we call serve the underserved, better than they have been in some time as far as connectivity, broadband options, just everything that goes with it today. There's so many technologies that, that ride over those connections to allow every Kansan to have access to basically the world economy. And that's part of our mission. So this first attachment here, which is a two-page letter, that's just to help everybody understand what we're about. This is how we view our commitment to all the communities we're in. In Junction City, Geary County is now one of those, of course, which we're excited to say. And this is a letter our CEO put out here recently when we the ownership group acquired Southern Kansas Telephone down there in Wichita. And so we happen to be the two largest privately owned independent telephone companies in the state, and we came together, so that's exciting. Of course, we have the ISG technology arm of our company, which has a 3-state footprint and just the power of all the technology and IT solutions that go with that. So that's something additional we bring to the equation that a lot of small providers don't. So this again is just what we're calling the Twin Valley Family and Companies Pledge. And these are things that, these are in our heritage. These are things we've been doing for decades, back to the founding fathers. We're a 4th generation company. There's a lot of heritage and tradition there. Pride ourselves on being the most reliable network that's available. Being able to give anyone access to the broadband they need, regardless of income. Providing quality customer service with hometown values. You talk to somebody, someone will be out. We're timely and timely with our service. Our people know what they're doing and they do it with respond. And then again, we really believe it's important to be part of the communities we serve, right? Without each other, no one is successful. So that's what that letter is about, just to give you a sense of how we're committed to Geary County as we expand in this area. I think everyone's aware we already have facilities that are being built right now. We received some of that funding that was available via the SPARK program and administered via the Connectivity Emergency Response Grant. So we use those funds plus our own funds and partner with the city to bring fiber through town, and we have it all the way down through south of town now. And we are preparing to build that out to the business districts as we speak, with targeted first businesses going live in weeks. So that's exciting. So this presentation is to give everyone a sense of how we view the opportunity now with the ARPA dollars. So it's another, this wonderful opportunity that we haven't had in some time, where just government entities, the FCC, both national and federal, recognize more than ever because of the pandemic in part that a lot of people have been left out. So there's a lot of dollars allocated. ARPA is one of those programs where $143 million, as you probably know, has been allocated for broadband infrastructure in the state of Kansas. It sounds like, again, as you probably well know, the kind of the rules around how that's allocated, those decisions are made is somewhat to be determined. So we want to make sure we at least start a conversation with the county to say, here's how we view some of the potential opportunities and where those funds could be allocated. And we certainly want to make sure we have your voice represented in terms of where the most opportunity or need may be, because we may not have that here yet identified. So just going on, look at the partnership opportunity. We see an opportunity to, first off, future-proof the county's network to make sure you have the connectivity you need, connect all your locations, so you can serve the county as you need to bring fiber and fixed wireless to rural parts of the county. Now, fiber certainly is the go-to if it's affordable, but it's not always affordable. And fixed wireless technology continues to evolve at a rapid pace. It gets better and better. It can reach farther and get through obstacles like tree canopy better and better. And so that's something we've become experts at. It's a good alternative if you can provide fiber. So we have an opportunity to do that, and then bring, like I said earlier, bring technologies that come with when you have adequate broadband connectivity. You can do a lot of other stuff, telehealth, remote work, just everything that's coming down the road we don't even know about. And then again, like I said, we want to make sure we've identified where each of you see and build a plan around that. So the next slide, the current investments in Geary County, that's what I talked about. We have brought, with that CERT project, we brought a fiber backbone through town, and we can now reach roughly 600 locations south of Junction City with fixed wireless service. And then we will build out using that fiber route. We're going to build out to the business districts along that way. Again, that's in progress, and we have quite a few businesses ready to sign as soon as we can turn them up. So just quick little recap of what that looks like. And then again, recapping opportunities for the county, connect all the offices. We're going to talk about, I'll show you here in the following slides is some of the opportunities we put together in terms of potential cost estimates, the rough estimates at this point, and then the areas we could serve. Grandview Plaza being one. There's a rural area between here and Milford that we had identified, and then some additional areas west and southwest of Milford Lake and so forth. So again, the one thing I'll say with the rest of this information is treat it as kind of order of magnitude. You know, there's a good chance some of these costs could come way down as we get into the finer details. But we want to err on the side of potentially being high versus low, just so you can get a sense for what we're talking about. So the first one is just if we were to connect every location that's operated by the county, and we believe we have them all here, of course, validate that. That'd be roughly $1 million bill by itself. Now, we were able to get some of this funded, get a project in place, so again, this number would likely come down. That would give you a sense of what that would look like if we were to do it on a standalone basis. And then be able to bring on all the services we offer, modern phone systems, managed Wi-Fi, managed services. I just think about managed services as somebody running all your IT for you. If you look at the next slide, the blue dots, that's just the map of all the county locations as we understand them. That red line is the current infrastructure we partner with the city to use, so we can bring up fiber to those areas. And then the green lines are future build outs that we have planned here in the months ahead. That's kind of just what the network would look like from a fiber perspective. Moving on to more of the rural areas, this is a highway, we just call it Highway 77 subdivision. They're around Lakeview, Eagle Ridge, and Old Milford Road. This is a fiber to the home. If we did all fiber to the home, looking at roughly $1 million for all those areas combined. And, you know, again, it doesn't get any better than fiber to the home, right? It's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's just not cheap. And so, again, I don't want your takeaway to be that Twin Valley would necessarily ask for $1 million as part of the funding, but that gives you a sense for what it could look like. And if you were to tell us, like, this is the number one area, this is the one that we hear from the most, or whatever it might be, this gives you a sense for what that might look like. And then we could partner together to figure out how to make it work. It's a similar situation on the next one. There's south, west, and west of Milford Lake up to the county line. You know, that's more sparsely populated, of course. And so this does not, it probably wouldn't make sense for anybody to go fiber to the home here. The numbers would be astronomical, even with help from a grant. And so this would be a combination of some fiber, And then the fixed wireless technology I talked about earlier. The nice thing on this one is if you see the green line on the very bottom, it's kind of hard to see with the squares, but that runs right by where you're locating your new school.
Okay.
And so we pass right by the school and go through that school with fiber. So again, just rough ballpark in terms of what that might look like. Grandview is the next slide. Shows about 520 locations, including all the residents there. It is expensive to get underneath the river there over to Grandview, so we have that cost baked in. And again, there's a lot of density there, of course, and so we get a big bang for the buck, so to speak, if we were to make an investment like that or partner on investment. The next one here, and we were talking earlier just about some of the areas south of Junction. This is one area south of Grandview there that we identified as a potential opportunity. Again, this would be similar to southwest of the lake, where it'd be largely fiber fixed wireless technology. But a lot of the people we've heard from around Keats and Junction City that have signed on to our new fixed wireless service that we turned up with the surge dollars have said it's just night and day compared to what they had. They can do things they couldn't do before. Work from home, stream shows.
Yeah, I'm waiting on it.
What's that?
So I'm waiting on it to hit our neighborhood.
Yeah, I was going to agree. And so, yeah, that's how we view this opportunity here. And so really that's it. We want to put some things out there as food for thought. We don't want to wait too long but perfectly in it good enough as far as starting a conversation and get some feedback. We certainly, bring some feedback if there's other areas that you guys have in mind that you want to take a look at, put together some cost estimates. We'll certainly do that. And then just keep the conversation going. John, you see the opportunity here.
Yeah, I appreciate you putting this together because I have no idea exactly where, I have an idea where you guys were, but not exact, so, and where you could go. Corey, did you have anything, like any concern or anything? Okay.
Yeah, so we're through the hard reduction right now. Fire pull through, turn up the cabinet. So as far as within Junction City, when you go by any Detroit, and part of
Who do we have now? As far as provider,
Internet.
internet and stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
one of the things that response can help with is, so it mentions in here residential, and so I talked about our focus on the business district to start, but it is our desire and intention to build out to the residential areas. I think it was slide 3, we saw these kind of what they call shaded areas. Those are residential, and we go through that, those have to say, what would it take to build out to those areas? But with that comes just increasing costs, and so any assistance we can get on the grant side allows us to potentially invest more on the residential side, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the dollars just get really big if we were to try and go fiber out to all of Junction City. But there's a small one for that. So anyway, that'd be additional benefit, and that's how we're looking. The more grants we can receive, additional money we can put in on a matching basis, so to speak.
I'm just looking to see where they're currently connected.
The best one.
Or you guys are out towards Milford though now,
Yeah,
but not on Old Milford Road or up in that area. You're in the city of Milford, correct?
right. We the far south of it is a tower just south of Milford. It's about 5 miles from Junction City. That's where we were, but with the surge dollars, we extended fiber down and on Old 77. Now we run on Old 77, we get to the city, and we pull fiber through town. So that red line on this slide, right here, that's where we have fiber effectively.
Okay.
And this hasn't been turned out because we're on some electronics to come in.
So on this, so you would have to extend out this way to hit the high school, right? If I'm looking at this right.
Yeah, now that one is that's not shown on this map, but if you, which one's that on?
That is I'm just looking at the connected Geary County buildings map because I see that you have a line that runs by the 4-H.
Yep.
And back down Ash.
Mhm.
I think that's the hospital. I don't know.
Yeah, hospital there were, the HA.
Yep. So
Central Handle.
So essentially you have to come back down Spring Valley Road almost and connect to go to the high school, or would you wrap around somewhere else for that connection?
Well, if you look at two phases down,
So part of
look
what,
at Milford Lake,
Yep, I'm looking.
and then that green line at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
that would be Rucker Road.
Okay.
So it could split off as Rucker Dimension.
Okay. I'm tracking.
yeah, I say part of we hit it with all those handholes. Those are spark points, those two are fiber.
Okay.
The other thing, we're gonna do is that so the towns never, the cities never isolated, we always have redundant routes, physical routes. So if I would come in this way, and go out another part of the city this way, and that likely would be this route that would run by the high school. And then what happens is it's out of town, it's out of town, it's out there,
What do you do if, I don't know what the high school,
Yeah.
where they're at right now on theirs, but let's say they've already got a provider. What's that do to you?
Well, we won't serve them, and of course, we go to the entire school district. Typically, the school district put out RFPs, and we participate in those, and, I know we put together a competitive bid, doesn't mean we would win the bid. But I believe they will, I expect we put that, and typically they have like 3-year terms, that we do them. And so I don't know where they're at even on their current term, but we would participate in the next renewal. And if nothing else, give a competitive bid that they wouldn't otherwise have.
Okay.
And then along that line, in our case, before the cops, so look good. I can look at like the contractors with them. I mean, it would be the same in our case, if we wanted to get out an RFP. For the county,
Okay.
Yeah. But that's been just where we're at with everything there. We want to make the investment there and hopefully make that and go with that for us. Any other areas south that you should be thinking about?
So you got rural.
that's part of the town.
You know what the density is per mile? Home per mile, probably less than.
That's not the real estate.
When it says the southeast school, Grandview, is that out kind of towards? Is that out kind of towards all the farmlands and stuff near like Keith and all that stuff back there? Yeah, huh? It says potential.
Oh.
And so, 'cause I know, I mean, we got people out there that
Yeah, I think, having, when we went to.
that'd be nice for them.
Remote learning, that really
Yeah.
bring up how underserved the rural community is with that type of. But how is, like the area where Old Milford Road is and those areas, I mean, I don't know how good the internet is out there right now. I don't know. I would rather right now do stuff on me, like people who actually need, not just a new, service, even though competition is good.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's a sad, if you had heard from the residents around those kind of things, we do hear from some of them from time to time. I hear from people more since they know we're coming into town, are starting to hear that. But you're right, I mean, that's really the point of these funds, if someone that really needs them.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the vetting process is not entirely going, I mean, we're not exactly sure what the rules are, but there'll be some kind of criteria by which they say, these are the functions you use, and that's going to be what you're describing.
Is the need,
Yeah.
but the areas actually need some kind of service, not just an additional service, yeah.
Right. The federal guidelines for a lot of companies like ours in 25 but that's, we're already hearing that's not enough. And so, if they have 25 feet a day, they're probably getting by. But, a lot of households in those areas, you average about 150. You got some of the devices, they're all being used at the same time. And so, that need is quickly escalating in terms of what that looks like. So it's a combination of the ones that not have much at all, but some that maybe have a paid service maybe take up to the next level, because you can get, with the fixed wireless service, we get a 50 meg service. It's not very difficult to get out that kind of and higher in some cases. And of course, the projects and some other.
Well, we'll find out when, the contract start, and then we'll be seeing that, let you know, these are gonna go out. And, we definitely keep you in mind when you, sit down and start working on the LP stuff.
Yeah. Have you been any more guidance as far as timeline or anything?
No, well, as far as,
As far as what's spending,
it's actually 2026.
yeah,
Is where,
you get the
we already are working on it, everything has to be completed by 2026, so it gives you a lot.
so yeah, you get the 4-year date, and if say year 3.5, we schedule some projects to be done, those funds can carry over another 2 years.
So it's not rushed.
It's not like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because I definitely want to, take time to see what will best serve the most people and the need. So
We are proud of that. That was part of it. We got it done. We had to negotiate with the Department of Commerce a little bit, and because also through the supply chain issues and all that. But we got all the sites turned up when we said we would, and so that's kind of tracked up to the very list.
Well, thanks for your.
Yep, thanks.
We're gonna be looking at this and we got you in our books. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
Yeah.
Hey, Lydia. How are you?
See, like we are, I cut the cord completely. So
I don't know how, services like, I mean, like, how's your service up where you are, Keith?
I'm good.
Are you?
Yeah.
See, I'd rather go after people that need.
Century.
well, I mean, yeah, I know need. So, but then you're gonna have to, if there's not a need, you're gonna have to give people options. Because let's say in that area, the only thing that's running is Century League. You know, I know in my area, Cox is the main the main service used. So, and then in Spring Valley, you got Cox on, I think, CenturyLink. Is it called Peanuts over here? I said Corey. What?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be
Oh, okay.
the-
Ouch.
Hi. You can be right back, but you can sit in that seat. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you ready?
Yes, I am ready. I have a few things for you today. First, I will apologize for the first things I did was say, oh, I didn't see you guys weekly. I'm gonna see you every week. So, just a few items, most of them won't take just a moment. I do have to pass one of which I'll be last.
Okay.
So don't waste your money. First is Community Corrections has asked to do a job title change, no change to pay grades, responsibilities, just a change in job title to more accurately reflect what that person does. They want, just one person, change from life skills instructor to risk reduction specialist. Any issues with that?
No.
I told her that, you know, I'll make sure that we go to the right channel. Second, I'm not sure if Jonathan went or not, but I like to go to the annual KAC meeting. So before I go online and enroll, one, make sure he doesn't have an issue with it. I'm also able to do our county HR association meeting at the same time, so folks who work from them.
John's going.
Okay, that's an overall for sure. As our Capers 457 plan, we are currently it's Jonathan is the only authorized signer on the account. So it's going to require the chair to sign to authorize me to be the signer. And then a letter also from Trish to them. And it looks like I forgot to grab that letter, but I've got it saved so I can print it out.
Okay.
But I wrote on your behalf, just says, please make Crystal the authorized signer and work with her to be the secondary signer.
Yes.
So that if something were to happen to me, like if I left or something, somebody else is authorized to sign. If you have other people authorized to review the information, but nobody else is an authorized signer. So I have that. Okay. And then Capers, and again, I don't have copies to this, so we're not free copies, but Capers rates for 2022 are going up a whole 0.02% on the employer side. Employee side, no change, but it's going from 8.87 to 8.89. So that's just FYI. I may have actually been able to do that in practice.
I believe
Yeah,
so.
you did.
Mhm.
You did.
So this is, make this authorized person. Then I have another one to this side, please. Thank you. All right, see, all that stuff is really easy.
Yeah, well, it's easy.
Now we can get to the county council part. I know that this has probably been going on for a few months because I know that he turned in his resignation, I think in January. I was able to find a memo that Jonathan had written to the commission regarding his recommendations and options available. Again, I'll say, I haven't been here that long. It's really difficult for me to say. I did, however, interview all the departments. I asked them how often they utilize the county council, how they contact him, what do they contact him for. Most people said that it varies so much that it could be, you know, during elections or something like that, or a major thing like COVID, a daily thing. But sometimes it's going to be once or twice a month at best. I do know that a lot of department heads and officials, council, commission are used to being able to email him or call him in the evenings, on the weekends, etc. So the best option, the best information is that no matter what we do, we're not set with that. If we decide to contract out for a while, we try it for 6 months to a year. If it doesn't work, that's fine. We can just say, hey, we tried that, it didn't work, let's put it out, we'll hire an employee. We hire an employee at first, and after 6 months, not keeping the station busy, then we can work with them about beginning contract. So whatever is decided, then we do have those options available. I will let you guys know that, as I told you on my very first day, I will always give you my professional opinion. I'm not going to tell you what I think you want to hear, because that doesn't benefit everybody,
No.
or anybody at all. So, whether that's popular or not popular, I really can't say yes, contract it out, or yes, hire an employee. So the best I can say is whatever you decide to do, then you do have the option of changing that in the future if it doesn't turn out to be what we hope it will be. I do have a couple draft, or not draft, I have a couple contracts that other counties have used with theirs. I did ask those that had a contract county counselor if they would share theirs with me, and they have, so that if you wanted to see that, so you would know what they're looking for, what their information is, we have to recreate the wheel, we would have that. We have Ford County and Ellis County, and then Saline counties, I have, I just haven't had a chance to
And they're
do that yet.
part-time too, I talked to my other commissioners. And they're much bigger now.
Yeah.
Well, I feel that we have the county attorney, we have pay camp, and we have a part-time county council. Those are three positions that are paid with taxpayer monies that we have available to us at our disposal. I don't feel that having a full-time county councilor is fiscally responsible right now. Like you said, we could, after a year, if that person feels and can show us that they're working full-time and or more than what they thought they were going to, we can evaluate that. But I personally feel that it should be a contract position.
You get a summary of the position, because I needed to get some background on it. The first time our current county councilor was appointed, he was appointed Geary County Attorney in December 1979. And then in 1988, the commission by resolution created a separate position of county councilor and made him both, he was the county councilor and the county attorney. And then, they knew that he was the county commission at the time, knew he was gonna run for county attorney again, but wanted to retain services. So in June of 2003, for 14 years, he was in private practice and county council. And then in 2003, he was elected county attorney. Again, through 2017, we again to do both jobs. For the second tenure, because that's the way the board wanted it. And then during a compensation study and the new county attorney working in 2017, it was decided that there's just too much work for both county attorney and county councilor, work to be done by the same person. So that's why it was separated. And while it's still possible to do that, it's probably, I mean, I've been talking with our county.
It was
attorney.
separated because of why?
There's just too much work for one person to do both jobs.
It just, in that salary study, it said that it recommended because of conflict.
And there's a tension, there's some conflict,
Yeah,
potential conflict of interest.
but that was in 2014 and it wasn't done until 2017. It was, yeah.
Right, when he decided not to run again.
But for 40 some years, he's been our part-time county councilor.
And then I did visit with, Krista regarding, information at the county attorney's office. And, she says that she does use his services to interpret county resolutions, civil liability and liaison between the county and, pay camp, like almost every department does. But she has no way of saying that, yes, I can do this in county council, because it's just too much work for her.
Oh, yeah, they're extremely busy.
Right. She has no problem with, working with every person, whether we hire them or contract them out. Because there be a potential conflict of interest between the county commission, the county councilor, representing both her and the commission. Well, of course, there could be, but, hopefully that will be very rare and, a case-by-case basis, so anything like that.
And then we have to fall back on as well.
To what extent can you use the criminal assistant system?
I use it a lot for, employment law. So there's a lot of times where I'm 99% sure I know what I'm talking about, but just in case I want that legally, so they can back it up with statute or clarify, and there's times I find it wrong.
Now, I gotta remember, there's a threshold where, some of that is free, up to a certain point, and after that, then it's double hour, right?
Yeah, my understanding is that if it's something that you're just saying, hey, like what I do, please confirm this is correct or incorrect, or whatever, or please tell me how you read this, so there's no charge for that. If they actually have to defend us in something or provide real legal advice, then it becomes case-by-case basis on how much time that they have to invest in it. And I think a lot of times with that, if it's going to become something timely, they will refer us to a associate. It doesn't actually work for pay camp, but another firm that they work with to represent the county. But I'm not sure what additional cost there is for that. And again, most likely on a case-by-case basis.
So can you set the amount of hours for a part-time person?
If we hire an employee part-time, we have control over just about everything, including the hours that they're expected to work, when they can be in the office and available, et cetera. If it's a contract person, then if it's a truly contracted position, we have very limited control over their availability, the hours they work, et cetera. We should
Unless they
in
put that in their contract.
Yeah, we
Yes.
could put something in the contract, but the more we control that position, the more likely they're listed as an employee and not a contract.
So like, let's say if you, because I don't like the contract part, because, I want them at our beck and call, 90 days or whatever. But can you do like a 30 an hour week position? And then,
One of the
and they
companies, I
don't
think Ellis
receive,
County,
well,
Ellis County has theirs, it's 20 hours a week. They have their own firm, but then they're scheduled to work for the county at least 20 hours a week. They get a salary based on that. It's at least 20 hours a week, and they're to attend every commission meeting and then be available during these hours the rest of the week so that if they need something. And then if they actually have to represent them in something, so.
We can
So
put
you
whatever
could-
we want in the contract.
so you can contact them at 90
Yes.
or whatever.
Right, and if it went over the 20 hours, I didn't read the whole contract, but I think if, so long it was reasonable, there were no issues, that they had to do extensive work that was more than, on average, 20 hours a week, then they had a built-in cost for that.
I guess what I'm saying is if you get not a contract, but an agreement with, well, here's the other deal. Whether we can find somebody, that's key. Maybe they want it, part-time, or they don't want it full-time. And that's the issue.
Right.
We're assuming it's gonna be a line, or,
I would be happy if we had half a dozen qualified individuals interested.
Well, paying somebody $100,000 a year plus benefits, I'm sure we could find somebody, because that's what Mr. Oakland's
And
making.
that's the other deal, we haven't even come up with a price.
Correct.
Can you still do that?
Yes, I could
Well,
work
we need to
with,
decide whether it's gonna be a contract employee or a
Mhm.
full-time
I think
employee.
we need some options.
I think we are done, we need to get this done. You have already had enough time to research what you think we needed. You obviously think it needs to be full-time. We need to see whether needs to be a contract. We do not need a full-time county council or staff.
I said 30 hours all day, that's not full time.
But
I understand it. You have a contract with somebody. You have the duties that they need to do, and then we get with that person. I mean, Mr. Opat took it upon himself to redo the county council position from what it is right now. We haven't approved that. It has way less responsibilities in it than what the first part did. And so basically what you do is put this out, and if we don't get anybody, then we go back to it. But we need to start making decisions here and quit putting stuff off.
But before we make a decision, I wanna see a cost analysis of what it's gonna cost.
Well, I would say the average price when I did mine was about 70 grand for a contract employee with no benefits.
And he was making 90 now, full time.
96 with benefits, so that's what, 120?
And his whole office is 140. And that includes benefits.
No, it doesn't. His budget is 140 with no benefits on there.
Yeah, but all right, getting back to my question. If you go, let's say you said you want 30 hours of artist special. Not just artist special, but yours,
department heads, or
department heads, the contracts, resolution, whatever. The key is, it's trying to find somebody that is knowledgeable in tax sales, board tax appeals, following. Yeah, it's a big, and maybe argue on behalf of that. Um, So if they're third, let's just say 30. You don't have to pay benefits at that point.
I think that county, benefits, and again, I haven't reviewed all the policy manual, but I believe the policy manual states that anyone that works at least 40 hours a week, they'll get benefits.
So-
If it's per year, 1,000 hours per year, it's no limitation.
So if we could, is there any way to look at doing, because I'm looking at the sheet you gave us last week. You have Finney County where they have somebody that's part-time, splits his time, and he gives 20 hours a week. And I hear what Keith's saying about trying to keep somebody for the 30 hours. Yeah, and then I'm looking at the Saline County. They're contracted out to handle a lot of the stuff that Mr. OPAT was handling, which is the delinquent tax sales, right? And they got that guy retainer fee, no hourly building. Could we doctor something to I mean, not only do continue some of the work that Mr. OPAT was doing, but also give our department heads a sense of like, okay, I can still tug on their coattails if I need that.
We have a copy of Saline County's contract. I just haven't had to come out yet.
Okay.
And then I've got one from Ellis County, for example, and there says that their county council receives $5,000 per month for all such time incurred on services rendered to board and billing them on a monthly basis, itemization of time, borders, and that it's okay that it's just him, or somebody can just firm if they need something better than he did. And on the Ford County, it was $200 an hour.
I think.
Well,
I'd rather
it
go with the
means-
contract, because some weeks they're gonna be busy and some weeks they're not gonna be busy, and, and we can reevaluate it after 6 months. I mean, a contract is, I think we have more leeway. If it's an employee and they're not doing what they're doing what they're supposed to do, I think contract is a little bit easier to deal with, but it doesn't need to be a full-time position, especially when we have the county attorney we can ask questions of and that we can ask questions of. That's 3 different entities that we're paying taxpayer money to, and we could save at least $50,000.
How do they handle their admin, legal secretaries?
That work for the county attorneys.
Yeah, on a contract.
I don't know that they have contract deals with them. On the one contract I read here, if the county counselor that contracted with, he was $200 an hour if it required something less than what he needed and staff did it. For legal assistant kind of stuff like that, it was $50 an hour for them to do what they do.
My only concern is
Most
we're not
places
going
in
to find.
contract, they have their own firm and they have their own staff. Or not their own firm, but they work for a firm or have their own office and they have their own staff, which is what should happen. But
My only concern is, I mean, we're almost at the
Yeah,
time crunch, and I can tell you, we're not going to find somebody full time. We're not going to find somebody part time because, is it going to be worth their while to do it? If we can, I don't know. I think if we can get into agreements of some sort where they're knocking out some of the issues that we have or that we will want them working towards on the time limit, I think I'd be all right there. I don't think we're going to find somebody of Mr.
Difficult decision. However, in my opinion, if you have to start somewhere, especially when it's new, it would be easier to take somebody from a contracted position and find out that they're working full time to make them employee then it would be to hire somebody as an employee full time and then say, sorry, we're not keeping you busy. We're going to reduce your hours.
Okay.
And I know there's people that are interested in it. I mean, they've asked me for the job description. It's like there are people interested in the contracted position.
Or a request for, proposal for qualifications. That everybody that's interested can provide information based on what we're looking for. And
So
I
if we come to, rather than take a vote today, the consensus that we're not wanting a full-time, we want part-time with, contract. And we're on consensus today with that. Can you put together something before next week for us, then to, like what's the job description, what's the hours, what's,
I want a motion. I'm gonna make a motion that we decide today that this is gonna be a contract position, and Crystal will put together a proposal for us for next week on job description and the ad.
I'm okay with that, but I mean, if it's not something,
So she has a
That-
guide.
yeah, she has a guy, but if the money isn't, if the money isn't something that's going to be appealing towards, because at the end of the day, it's going to be how much is this person willing to take. If that's not appealing, we got to go back to the drawing board. I mean,
Yeah, I know, I'm just making a
That's right.
motion that we decide it's
I
gonna be a
don't know why
contract
you want a
position.
motion, just go ahead and consensus. And we'll come up with something and show us next week, and, because we can totally make this fit our needs, correct?
Correct.
But we need to decide what our needs are.
well, we can move forward with your motion of moving forward with it. I mean, comparing
don't understand,
apples and
I
oranges.
guess.
What was your motion?
My
Is what I'm
motion
saying.
was that. My motion was, that we hire the county counselor as a contract position. And Crystal will go forward with the job description and what we expect and salary, I guess, range.
I will
So,
second.
RFQ.
Yes.
Yep. And I second that motion, and I would like it to state that we need to still put in the indicators that we're looking for
Exactly.
as far as the things that Mr. OPAT does that we want to continue to see be done.
Tax sales, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You guys both got both the current,
I don't think I ever got Mr. OPAT's new one.
That's why.
okay, well,
So all I've seen is the
did
old
you
one.
send both of those? Do you have
I
both
definitely
of
have to revise one, and I can
And then
find it, I know Jennifer. can
Jennifer
find
can
it.
find it.
Okay.
Okay, so you
So,
second
yeah,
it.
come on.
All in favor of my motion?
Aye.
Opposed?
Well, aye. I mean,
You're opposed?
in favor.
Okay, okay. Motion carries.
Alright. And, if I need additional time, I'll let you know by Wednesday.
Okay.
And the last thing I had was just informational. I'm learning a lot about the county, about certain existing issues that are going on. And I do know that there's probably a key need for training. I know that with COVID last year, lots of that stuff went on hiatus. And there's, and it could be a lot of that too, but some people that get to get out and network and things, so there's been some issues intra-departmentally as well as interdepartmentally with, different civic plans on how things are done or what's done. But a lot of it's been lack of professionalism. And I'd like to start with, at the top, both the board, elected officials, department heads, and then additional training on the way down to help people to understand that we lead by example. So if we want to be treated as professionals, we do treat others as professionals as well. You can agree with someone, disagree with someone, but if we don't do so in a respectful manner, then people aren't gonna trust us, they're not gonna come to us, and we have issues. And I think it's really important that they know that they can trust those in positions of leadership, to do what's right, regardless of whether they agree with it or not, regardless of their feelings on it personally, but professionally, they will be there. So I think that we have to really get some training available for the up-level people first, and then we'll go to the mid-level, up-level supervisors, and then the police themselves, and get everybody on board. And that's, if I think I've explained it before, that change is like giving birth, it's painful at first, but at the end of it, it's beautiful, and you've got something there. And it might not always be what you expected, but, you love it. So, but there was that painful process at first. So, and that's all I have for you guys today.
Yes, I'm not sure how we do this. And what we spoke about in executive session last week, are we moving forward or what's
It was delayed until today so that we could clarify some information.
okay?
I was able to receive information today, on that, and it's out there open now that the CDD director position is, open.
Okay,
I don't have other job descriptions yet, but I do have contact information where I can get those and then find out what their current ranges are, so you can get a pay set up and a revised job description, set and ready to go, and then just something to advertise.
okay,
And I will forward to you what I can put together from the other, agencies.
all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
That. All right. So where you're at?
Oh, no,
No,
you shouldn't have
everything's
to.
done. Everything's done.
Is he gonna have to leave?
Right?
It's not done, it's either recommend Commissioner Chair's signature or myself.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's just the signatures.
Yeah, that's all it is. Okay.
Okay.
Well, they should have told me that. I don't think it was leave.
Mr. Wolfett has prepared, the permanent drainage easements, the temporary construction easements, and the just compensation agreements between the county and, CNRL Farms, and as well as, AV Farms, which is Petty Action. After the Conroe Bridge replacement. In the packet, if you have anything, the fly spec these to a T, and, if you have any questions on
About
these, I'd recommend the, board to approve of, this permit and temporary construction easements for CNRL Farms and AV Farms.
great. So moved.
I see it. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All same sign. Motion carries. Okay.
And I need, a notary. I guess on the backside of this, I've got already the voucher for the payment for the
Oh,
easements
okay.
that I would like to get expedited.
Yes.
So
I'm
I
gonna,
talked to Teresa about that this morning, and, she said just get into her and hope you guys can cut a check. this
yes,
afternoon.
I want to, and I'm gonna make sure that I wrote a note to Rebecca to get that done today.
I will hand deliver those checks, so we're doing for, I can make copies of them, get them in my files, and,
Get the phone with it.
get the forms that need to be submitted quickly out by July 1, submitted before I have it.
Yes.
That's my note.
Well, I appreciate all your hard work. I know
Yeah.
this has been a trying, situation, and I appreciate all your hard work on it.
It's been-
And thanks for,
Okay.
and Teresa, we can get those, those checks cut today.
And that's what we're doing this week.
So we can do it
So
whatever.
I'm tracking down and hand delivered. So what do I can use that for? Use it option. You want to spread it around on paper somewhere?
Oh, yeah, how many pages I gotta sign? Oh,
I wish Mr. Opel was here. Tell him thanks for his hard work on this matter as well. You know, this has been a daunting task.
And it's just beginning.
Yeah. Here she comes to save the day. Can I get a witness?
And we got,
Thanks for that email, Corey.
I just got that now. I didn't have time to read much about that, but I'm sure you just trying to reach out to citizens that do surveys and stuff.
Yeah.
Got a question about the broadband.
So that's what I'm looking for. This one I put the 750 in, that's what this one, that's what it's looking
I
at.
don't think it'll matter, because we did the same the other day.
Welcome back. Join the military.
Yeah, send the survey out to the paper and basically it's for the many people that, I think that's a good idea
Is it broadband in
about the blackberry.
Yeah. there? It's supposed to get storms, I thought. That's what I heard. They did? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Corey.
You betcha. Anything else?
No.
I don't think so. If I don't see you before then,
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Something about that.
Say that. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it bounce.
Well, glad that's done. Another restroom.
Recess. Yes.
Oh, that hole.
The elbow.
Oh, I see, you said that one, that's what it is. Oh, good morning, cooperate, there. Shoving me up against the fence. Yeah. It wasn't pretty, I was pretty angry.
Be careful, man.
But, I won. Got him on the trailer.
He got on the trailer.
He only knew where he was going. I was doing slaughter. He was doing that grass.
Get his eat on, right?
Yeah. I definitely want to have a lot of input in this council.
Yeah.
But, there's more to it.
Well,
This is what
I mean, you know,
I just want to make sure that we're protecting you and.
mhm. Well, and I still want them
to.
yeah, someone that, you know, because what if they don't want to reach out to K-Camp all the time?
No, you can't use it.
Yeah. So.
You definitely don't want to come in clean because it's a possible conflict.
Mm-hmm.
I know what happened now with the sheriff will do the same thing. So it's not going to say the same thing. You don't see it.
Yeah.
You see this before?
Yep. Before you left, I thanked him for sending it.
Yeah. How are they going to send this out there?
Trish said she was gonna send it out to a bunch of people. I'm gonna send it out. Maybe we also need to get the school district on board.
It ought to be put. You will do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, school district do perfectly.
Yeah. Oh man. Thought that was gonna be longer than. So I thought that was gonna be longer than.
4 years.
Hope she announced that we were in recess. Did she?
Yeah.
Okay. To not this past weekend, the weekend before, Declan fell and bust open his chin. Had to get 4 stitches.
And
4
what is he doing?
at the swimming pool when we were out in Lincoln, Nebraska for baseball. Try to jump in and came down and split it.
You know, we were on vacation with South Carolina. And these kids were horsing around. I don't know how they liked it. And it was a good thing I was there. I was in the pool. And this one kid, they were doing like flips in the pool. One kid didn't complete his flip in time. He came straight down on his head. On actually did. And I was right there. And he was like a redfish that and I scooped him up out of the water and got him up on the concrete. And his mother wasn't too far away. She didn't see it happen. And anyway, he was built in. And so, you know, she got a little time after the job. That we took off and I never seen him after that. So I don't know what happened.
Oh man.
But I mean, I watched him. He did that flip and he just came straight down his head, right on the edge of the pool.
Yeah.
And then he
Split.
just flopped into the water right there while I was standing. He was conscious. I didn't knock him out.
A good shot to the head though. You're like,
He didn't know where he was.
yeah.
Yeah. And then, he was screaming, going everything. Going up on the
I had to go sign that letter before I forgot and left.
You ready for Rebecca?
Yeah. Yeah, it should be really.
Oh. Don't scare me like that. Somebody might be off.
I know.
I'm right here.
See you, Lydia. Oh, James Bond. James Bond. James.
So how's it doing?
Oh, he's good. He pulled one out, but a band. I guess the band it got stuck to it when he came out. And I'm like, he's supposed to get him out today. So
How old is he?
he's 7, going on 72.
Oh, that ain't my first time
Yeah, he's man. That dude's a daredevil. So keep me on my toes.
I don't know if you saw the broadband survey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I sent it to Lydia and Dewey,
good.
put it out so more people can.
I won't tell her that because I'll screw the survey.
Wow.
Because I got rid of it.
Do you really? Now, like, how far away have you heard, like, people, your neighbors, like, when they starting to get not good internet?
Oh, probably. It's softening probably 57. Down close to, and then Humboldt. It's probably good. I think they can test it.
I was trying to think when Patty lived on also. I don't know what it was.
But see,
But I mean, what do you do with your internet? Like what's all you got Wi-Fi? So how many do you know how many gigs or
we got
per second that you have?
I don't know about that, but we got the highest speed.
Okay. That they allot. Okay.
Well, Nina probably uses it for school.
She uses it all the time for school and during COVID.
Yeah.
And for her own personal computer too.
Because I mean, I think we're one away from as high as you can go with Cox. And I run everything on like from TV on different devices. So everything we stream everything. We had gaming systems on everything. It's in there. So
No, well, we're lucky because what they told us when we looked up, because we've never had it until I got elected. The company across the road from the corporation, well, they're global, so they have to have top of the line.
Top of the line.
And so, when they hooked us up, it was like, it's your lucky day because we're just spurring off of their deal, they're off their blocks.
Yeah, so you can't complain.
I want to ask Ricky. I know John Warrior.
I know.
said it really was terrible about this one.
No,
I know. God Gustafson said it's terrible down
Mhm.
Cell phone service is also terrible.
I can drive through that main street and just be traffic.
Yeah.
It just drops it.
Unless you're up on a hill.
Right.
Who do you guys have in White City?
TCC, today. And it's fiber. They went fiber to all our houses.
And see, they come into Geary County, some of them are not far.
Yeah, I don't know how to use it.
Hello, Rebecca.
You make me feel like I need to sanitize. Somebody took my hand sanitizer? Nope.
Okay, I have some change orders for you, and the ones that were mailed out, so this is some more.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure.
I make a motion to approve the change order.
A second.
All in favor? Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, the next thing is the financial report. We emailed out to the clerks and treasurers, monthly reports. And, what is new is on page 1, 33, which is the hospital. It's in the red, and also Fund 50, which is the hospital no fund warrant, in the red, $7,404.30. That's because the gym distribution hasn't paid the folks yet, so there's a delay from the policy. Otherwise, it's things that we reported before, so everything's in order. Do you have any questions about the financial report?
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Next thing I have for you is the values. I am still working to get, the county clerk budget sheets, and now I've started sending those out to our various taxing units this afternoon, so we have until tomorrow to get through that. We'll meet that deadline. I'm just not sure how I'll get it today. So what I have given you is the value comparison. So the first table, which is table 1, is called the grand total. That is the total value that is in the county. I give you comparisons of July of 2020, then November of 2020, and then we call it the July 21st values. So that you can see that countywide, we have gone up rounding 5.3 million. Table 2 is the values that we use to set the levy on. We have to take out the TIF district. TIF stands for tax increment finance, and the bluffs. And I apologize, I can't think of the new name. Give Edwards Valero. Those are ballot. Sorry, those are the two. There's more than one parcel, but those are the two entities that we have that are in our TIF districts. So the 4.9 million, again rounding, is what would be used in the calculation when we set the levy, the estimated levy in our budget. And then past commissions have always wanted to know about real fire district 1. So I went ahead and left that on here, not knowing what the commission would want. So going forward, I can make any changes to that need to be made. So there is a correction that will have to be done that I was notified by the appraiser's office today. There's a $232,000 in appraised value property that should be exempt, but they did not exempt prior to certifying to me. So we'll need to be taking that off, and again, that's the appraised number. And I've done an approximation. I think we're going to lose about 58,000 towards their value between now and November when the tax statements go out because of that exemption. That gets corrected for the 18 commissioners and a minor for commissioner. Actually, that will get corrected through a process that's called quick supplements. So once the appraiser has certified to me the way that we make changes between now and when we do the tax roll in late October is through the quick supplement process. We also have a couple of larger properties that are in the VOTA process. So we expect that there's at least the possibility that we will lose several $100,000 of value between now and again that October timeframe if those are successful if they voted me. So is there any questions I could answer for you about the values? As you can see, real estate went up. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody based on the real estate market that you all have heard about. Personal property continues to go down as more and more of that becomes tax exempt. And then our state assess went up and oil and gas went down.
So the key number to look at is on total fee.
Yeah, because that's the grand total value that will be used to set the estimated value.
That's the 4.9.
So that's a good segue into giving you the county clerk budget information sheet. Typically, I have not brought this into the commission, but because it really hasn't had a lot of meaning. But this year, it does because the revenue neutral rate is on here. And that is listed under, right under number 2, personal property. You can see the revenue neutral rate is 69.356. And if you look on number 3, the total levy for our current tax year is 70.771. So if you choose to be revenue neutral, the levy would be 69.356, which is taking, this is the certificate page from our current budget. So if you look at the certificate, the first column is budget authority for expenditures. That's how much money the county is authorized to spend. We have never and we don't anticipate really spending all that money because it has things like, the county facility fund where we don't spend all of that. There's multiple funds, law enforcement is another one that never spends all that money. So there's, multiple budget authority, and you'll see when we get through the budget documents, there's a lot of budgets that, are not levied, and so in order to be able to spend that money, we give ourselves the full budget authority to do that. So the column that's important for the revenue neutral rate is the second one, and this year we needed 17.2 million of worth of taxes to fund our budget. So that's the number that we use to compute the revenue neutral rate. And again, once pay starts coming in, she's using the state's budget form to put all these numbers together, the picture will become clear. But if we kept everything exactly the same, no increases for any kind of expenditures, or no cuts to anything that we have funded this year, the levy would be 69.356 to be revenue neutral. And we talked before, the state budget department has encouraged everyone to have that revenue neutral rate clearing, because if your value does decrease between now and when the tax statements go out, which we're relatively sure ours has the potential to, then we would have to start the year off anyway, cutting something because we would be generating the amount of money.
When we do that, it's when we have
The budget hearing, the process would be to have the revenue neutral rate hearing. You have to pass a resolution that's, if you choose to, you pass a resolution that says, yes, we're going to be above that, at that revenue neutral rate hearing, and you have, you hear from the public, and then you pass your resolution if that's what you choose to do. And then you can have the regular budget hearing that we've been having after that. And several of the previous commissions have, had the public budget hearing, and then the next week they adopted the budget. So, that you could do that someday. So what other questions do you have about the values or the revenue? I'm gonna start calling it R&R, because it's
R&R?
easier to say.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing R&R about that.
Yeah, this is crazy with, doing everything on differently, huh?
It's just a different process, and since it's everyone's first time, there's certainly been
Oh,
more
sure.
learning with it. Okay, then the other thing I always find out at this time of year is, this is the listing of the neighborhood revitalization parcels that we expect to give rebates on during next tax year. And again, I'm not sure how familiar, Trish and Alex, you are with neighborhood revitalization, so if there are things I can explain to you about that, I'd be happy to do so. We currently don't have a plan for new properties, and this is people about what we're prior to the expiration of that plan. And you can see the number of years that people are in and the different rates that they have. And then what we expect the rebates to be.
What's the years?
Pardon?
When do you think that, like,
The
anything?
rebates? Since this is a rebate program, the taxpayer has to pay the entire tax bill, and then it's the treasurer's responsibility to issue the rebate checks. So if somebody would pay their total tax bill in December, then she would issue those refund checks in February. And then if they pay in half, then in June is when she issues their rebate checks after they pay their second half in March. And if they don't, if they ever miss a payment, if they ever go to income, then they're out of the account. And at the present time, when these plans are down, there is listed for 75, the city of Junction City and Geary County that participate in the revitalization.
This one in Milton City,
I've never heard anything further.
no, it's been since 2018.
Correct.
About any plan.
Only,
Oh,
okay.
so how long do the people that are in this, like, I mean, how is it set time before
The
that?
maximum is 10
10
years.
years.
Some of them are only 5,
Oh, okay.
and I don't think we have anything between 5 and 10 right now. I think tax year 2025 might be the last year for anybody that has.
Yeah, so I think 3 years, is the lowest I saw. It's 5 years.
Yeah, that's the year,
Like,
the year that's
they've
on
been doing
here
it.
is the year that the year under the
Yeah.
So
Oh,
like
okay.
the very first one, tax year 2021 is the 5th year for her doing the plan. So this may be her last year, she might have,
Mhm.
5 more years. And if you need to know that, I have all that in the files, it's just this report, doesn't print all that off, it's just the year that this tax year is doing. And then sometimes that next column, the rate, sometimes that rate changes every year, sometimes it's 25% for 10 years. So that's all in the application, and they apply it on this approved. There is a 5% administrative fee on all of these each year that the county keeps. It goes into the general fund, which it's helpful, but it doesn't come in and you're offsetting the cost because the appraiser's office, the clerk's office, and the treasurer's office are all involved in this process. So it doesn't come close to what it costs us to administer that program, but we do get something. And in some cases, some of the properties that it's been a pretty successful program. There's still a few blocks now. There's a lot of self-help housing up there, and a lot of those properties either are or were in the revitalization. So some of it's related.
Yeah,
Help out with
that
that.
really helped that area.
So any questions about any of the tax-related, value-related things that I've changed in that?
Not yet.
So then on the 17th, we have our next budget work session. So you'll be seeing Susan Moyer from the library, Geary Burgess with the vacancy management and the verifier budget. Beck and Charles Osborne will come talk about Super A. And Smith will be here for Adibus. Chuck Roberts coming for the food fair. Terry Johnson's coming with the ambulance, and then I'll be in the afternoon with the last part of the day with a variety of budgets that I'm responsible for.
Okay.
I suspect it probably will come pretty close to like that.
Okay.
I had an email from the coroner asking if he needed to approve a photo that corner. I mean, we kind of discovered there's a few of these entities that are a little bit different, so I told him I would check into Dr. Jenkins does give us his request for rates, and then Teresa and I put together our estimate for all of the supplies and transport and that kind of thing from the data that we have. So, I don't know how you feel about having him out too. I think it's gonna be difficult for him to do that with his medical.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I would like to see a breakdown of how many autopsies he's done and which kids also. I know that's not in this corner, but just, different, things that the county pays for that we have no control over. How many there are.
Okay, I'll let him know that he doesn't need to come, and then I'll make sure that when we do the rest of the time, we'll just have that. We have quite a number of appointments scheduled for the 24th, but I still have several things that I need to schedule, so I don't know if we're gonna have to go back and for another work session, because we may not have enough time for everything that we need, so. I spent a lot of time last week trying to figure out who had submitted their budgets and who had set up appointments and who hadn't. So we're really close to having everybody scheduled and stuff.
And if we need to stay at our here at the rest of the week.
Oh, I'm not thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be okay.
It'll be fine.
And I
Well,
have,
I'm okay
Will's
with
scheduled pay to start coming in beginning next Monday, then the regular meeting, so she'll have to, whatever she can put together of the stuff that we've given her, so we can start to see what those documents look like. And it won't be the complete picture of everybody's budgets, no one yet, but it'll be some. And again, if you're trying to stay revenue neutral, we've seen a lot of people come in here and ask for increases already. I'm sure there's other people that we haven't seen yet that are gonna ask for increases, so, I don't know how you're gonna come out of this if you either don't raise the levy or you're gonna have to make some cuts in the, request rates and,
Or somebody's out there.
so. All right, now, a couple of weeks ago, I talked to you about the chamber annual dinner, so I've heard that from, patient a few weeks ago, Alex, and I'll get RSVP for all of you, if you wanna let me know.
I'm sure I'm going, so I'm not even gonna.
And then
Suggest
Tricia,
that
I
I'm-
understood from your email with, the membership you have to.
Yeah, there's two tickets.
And, did you all get a chance to see the email about the Flint Hills Regional Leaders Retreat? It's gonna be Thursday, July 29th and Friday, July 30th. And it will be, in Manhattan at the Hilton Garden Inn. And the deadline will be July 22nd for that. I just want to make sure that you've all seen that email, and, if anybody knows if you want to go now, we can always see if we can.
Yes.
June or July?
Did I say June? It's July.
No, I wasn't there.
You
I
said-
thought you said July, but, yeah.
July 29th and Friday, July 30th. And it's from 8:30 to 5 on Thursday, and 8 to 3 on Friday.
I can go over that.
Either if you know yet, and that's okay if you don't.
I don't know yet. Yeah, I know it's not far to drive. It's not liberal. No, I'm supposed to vacation next week, so.
And that's all I have for you, unless you have questions or you have anything for me.
Nope. I mean, you brought in some depressing news. Sheesh.
Everything is always a challenge.
That's what I learned. And liberal.
I mean, there's a lot of
No.
valid needs, and there's not enough funding to go in.
Yeah,
Well, it would have been different this year had you not been letting me get there.
It would help. I'm still not sure that you'd be able to say yes to all of the
No.
requests that have come through, like, that will come through.
We haven't had that kind of increase in valuation.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have minutes to, minutes of June 7th.
A couple of them thought that I had a meeting starting at 1:15.
We packed a lot in that afternoon.
Wow. We made, commission review and update. And we're talking about, Kevin Giovanni was talking about you being at the hospital. I have that the bond council hospital. He wants to add things. And the BBC put out the money should be used for the buildings that generated those funds. So with that, and then the next couple of bullets, I was talking about, Trish said the county had not done anything extra for the hospital. And, he said, yes, county assisted the hospital, we issued no gun warrants and gave the hospital tax money. And then once that along with that struck money, 1.4 million.
but they didn't give tax money, but we had to pay, we used the tax money to pay the bonds off, or pay the no fund warrant.
That just started this week.
Yeah.
Right. They got their tax money before and they said they used it for energy,
Yeah.
bills, whatever. And then I had to take a word out. And that was it for the minutes of 7.
Good.
Huh?
Didn't have any.
7.
I told you my fix. You said you were going to fix it. You forgot about it. I did. I found something.
Yeah, what did you say?
Recyclables.
Oh, yes. He told me I spelled recyclable wrong, which I knew was spelled wrong, and I corrected the spell check, so I did.
Boom. So I did.
You probably didn't know that only because it still had the red squiggly. I knew you would have caught it.
That's what I look at. Red squiggly and what I say.
I wrote it down, I wrote, oh my, I gotta remember to spell. So yes, sir, I fixed that.
Boom.
Yeah.
Come at me.
I make a motion to approve minutes.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carries.
Does this look right?
Sure does. Yep.
And I don't know what the rate, whatever the
Yeah, I'll have
rate
to
is.
look that up. I
So
don't remember what the mileage rate is.
do I?
Sure, we'll get that check, so Corey can get that done.
Yeah,
Before he goes on
yeah.
vacation, because we have to have it by July 1st.
Yeah, and that's what he said. I just told him I didn't want to do it today because we paid the big batch bills today, and that's coming out. Bookkeeping bill, so I said, can I do it tomorrow? And he said, yeah. 'cause
Anything
he's-
else I gotta fill out?
Yeah.
he'll have
Just sign the bottom.
Where?
He's
That's
Here?
his name or firm.
All right.
Yeah. Because when's he going on vacation? Not till next week. Oh, Friday. Okay.
I think he leaves for next, I mean, like, that's his last day, doesn't he go next week?
Oh,
I think
okay.
he's gone next week.
I thought he was gone next week.
And it,
He wants that all done, which I'm glad, I want it
yeah,
all in
I'm
there,
sure he
so-
does. Yeah. Yep. That's it.
And there was-
One good.
maybe he is, but I know he wanted to get
Yeah.
that done, so. Thank you. So if we have nothing further, I will call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Ending stream.